back. We're here for episode 3 of Golf News RI's College Golf Winter Break Series. The first 2 episodes featured Sam Hood and Brandon Gillis of Bryant and URI respectively. So those episodes are up now. Brandon was a great conversation. And we're looking forward to another great conversation today as we have Newport's Addy Douglas joining us from Fairfield. Addy, thanks so much for taking a few minutes. Really looking forward to chatting with you.
Of course, I'm excited.
So you're a senior at Fairfield, 1 more semester left. You're not one of the lucky ones that gets a 5th year. We just talked about this before we started recording. But you had a great fall season, 1 semester left. What's your mindset going into your last semester of college before you have to grow up?
It's a little scary because it's like 1 semester left,
Yep.
Spring semester, which is a fun one. But my mindset just going into it is just have fun with it. Like, just go in, have no regrets going out of it. Just do what you can do, work hard, and just have fun. Because honestly, that's college golf. It should be fun, and it's just trying to do my best and have fun with it. I mean, I'm with a great team, great coaching staff, and I'm just so grateful to be able to play college golf and just to be on the team and continue to my 5th year is just, to my senior year is just amazing. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to even play college golf.
But you wish you had a 5th year, so it counts.
Yeah, I wish I had a 5th year,
but so we maybe you don't know the answer. We can get into it a bit, but any idea what's next for you after college or?
Yeah, that's I'm still figuring things out. I mean, I want to go back to school and get my MBA. I do want to work somewhere. I don't know what, hopefully in golf. But really, I'm still figuring it out. Just trying to just look at different opportunities and different options because it's just, I don't want to close any doors yet and just like see what's out there. So yeah, still feeling it out for after graduation, which is coming up pretty soon.
I feel like a lot of people are in your similar situation. I mean, I obviously wasn't an athlete, but I was in college. I always knew I wanted to do media somewhere, so I kind of had that going. But a lot of people don't. So I'm sure a lot of people in your situation. You're at Fairfield, but you got to Fairfield by transferring from Lehigh.
Yeah.
What was that? I know it's been a couple of years, but what was that process like transferring? And how difficult was it to adjust from going from one school to another school?
Well, transferring was tough because when I got into college, it was 2019, and then spring 2020, obviously it's COVID.
Right.
So I was only at Lehigh for a semester, and that was kind of like my normal college like semester. And then I transferred to a new school, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, COVID. And it's like, okay, I'm not playing. I'm not like going to class. I'm literally in a Zoom. So it was tough transitioning because it was COVID. But I do know of friends that have transferred from schools in athletics, and the process is so much easier now. It's just, especially because COVID's not as big of a deal as it was when I was a freshman. Transitioning was tough, but in a sense, it was almost like I had more time to focus on golf because it kind of closed out. It was only school and golf. Nothing else was kind of priority at the time, because that's all you could do, and golf was kind of like an escape, or kind of like, all right, I'm stuck in my dorm, I have to go to practice. It's kind of like my escape to get to the outside world in a sense, because everything was like shut down. But I'm grateful I transferred, and I'm grateful my coach reached out, and I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. And I have made amazing friends here. I have athlete friends, non-athlete friends, and it's amazing because it's just like, I'm glad I transferred at the right time. And it feels like I did go to Lehigh, but in a sense I transferred so early. It's like I went for such a small snippet of my college career. And it also taught me a lot about just seeing 2 different programs and seeing how different programs run. No program's perfect, and no coach is the same. And I loved my time at Lehigh, and I made great friends. I still connect with some of them to this day. But overall, it wasn't as bad as people think when transferring. If you ever have a doubt with transferring, or like you're thinking of it, I went into the portal just to see what was out there, and Fairfield was actually one of the schools I was looking at before I committed to Lehigh. I was like, oh, like maybe I'll look into it and give it another chance. And I did, and here I am. So yeah.
And you had a great career at Fairfield. You had a great fall season. You had a runner-up finish at the Sacred Heart University Invitational. You had a top 10 finish at Lehigh Invitational. It was statement game for you. You won the Max Student Athlete of the Week. Talk about your fall season, how well you played, and how much you're looking forward to the spring portion of the schedule.
Yeah, the fall was good. I was happy going into the fall. I was like, all right, this is my last fall like season. Let's give it my all. And I gave it my all, and I worked hard at it. And it's just like I had a different perspective of like, there's not going to be another one of these. So you're going to have to do the best that you can. Don't give up at any point, because this time next year, you'll probably be in an office or you'll be in the classroom for your MBA. You're not going to be on the golf course on a random Tuesday afternoon. It's like, just give it your all, just have fun with it. And I actually went back to one of my swing coaches who's just outside of Worcester, kind of, Coach Dan Burke. I can never pronounce his last name right. And it's
I'm
so
sure he'll
bad.
appreciate it.
He's literally like the best guy, and he's really given me the confidence to play better. And it's work smarter and work harder. So he's really pushed me, and obviously my game was better than I thought in the fall, and hopefully I continue that into the spring. So
Now, from fall to the spring, obviously you're on winter break, the holidays, of course. How much work will you put in during this break to make sure you're sharp for the spring season? I mean, are you hitting balls? Are you going down south to play? What's the work like during this break?
so I'm still like at Fairfield right now, and they
Right.
have an indoor like studio, and it has like a track man, and it's
Oh,
awesome. So I definitely want to take advantage of that more. And it's just a great resource to have so close here. I'm hoping to get down south. I'm not sure if I will. I'm still planning those dates out, because I'd love to play down there, because our conference is actually in Disney. So playing off Bermuda grass would be great before going down to Disney in the spring. And also just to hit off grass would be amazing and not have it be solid. So yeah, just putting in the hours with the studio. I mean, short game, just technical tweaks, but still trying to get ramped up for the spring.
are you a fan of simulators? I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people like again, I stink at golf, but I struggle. I feel like the chipping is the hardest part on a simulator, because you're
Yeah.
not really hitting the ball anywhere. It's hard to judge it. Like the full swings, fine. You know, the chip putting obviously is impossible. You don't really putt on those, but I feel the chipping is the hardest part of working on a simulator. Again, I suck, but just in general.
No, I for the stimulator, I usually look at the numbers of TrackMan for full swing. That's where I usually will get it. Chipping and putting, I'll probably just do like with a random net into a chip, like just kind of like, all right, like distance, making sure I have the right perspective, like just distancing it out. But definitely when I go down to Florida, I mean, hopefully Florida, not knock on wood that I go. But just short game when I'm down there, because it's just so important to get a feel for something other than plastic turf in a room. So that's for sure.
Absolutely. Now we talked about this before we came on. Ryan has so many kids playing college golf now, and more coming. Whether it's Division 1 or Division 3, college golf is college golf, and it's still a big thing to do, a big accomplishment for them. Including girls. Obviously, we have Morgan is a freshman at Merrimack. We have other girls coming up in the next few months going to college somewhere. From your perspective, and someone who's been through it, what has been the biggest adjustment for you over the years? Obviously, you're a veteran now, so maybe your answer has changed over the years. But what has been the biggest adjustment from going from junior golf or high school golf to playing college golf?
That's a great question, because I think as a senior now and having freshmen on the team, it's kind of like you don't realize how big of a time commitment college golf can be. It's not just like, oh, a club or a hobby. It's your whole life. It's you wake up, you go to lift, you go to classes, you go to practice, then you do homework, and you do it all again the next day. And I like the biggest thing is that people don't realize how much golf takes up, or how much, I mean, all sports have their own struggles. I know one of my roommates is on field hockey, and she's like, they have lifts at 5 a.m. or crazy like practices in the winter. And it's all sports have their own schedules, but I feel like golf, you are on the golf course for 36 holes for tournaments and you don't look at your phone. You are just fully in the golf zone when you're in season. And from junior golf to college golf, it's tough because you don't realize that transition. Like, yes, in junior golf, you're usually with your parent or a friend traveling to a tournament, and then you go home the next day and you're back to your normal life, and you go to like school, and then you do homework and you hang out with friends afterwards. And yes, it's like sort of like the same with college, but in a sense it's technically your job. If you're recruited for a school and they give you scholarship money, it's your job to perform well and to be with the team. And it's kind of like you have to do your job pretty much and just continue on that. So I think that's pretty much the biggest transition. And I've realized that being on the team now is that the freshmen are like, this is insane. And I'm like, yeah, but it's your job. You just got to keep hacking at it. Like, just keep going. Like, if you're struggling, just reach out to a teammate or just say, hey, I just need a break, because you got to speak up for yourself. And I think it's awesome now that like a lot of people are talking about mental health, because it's huge now in college athletics, and it's important to make that like known, because sometimes people don't know what people are going through, especially in college athletics when you're so overwhelmed and you don't have a time to sit and breathe. And just making sure you're connecting with your teammates and reaching out to the right resources is pretty important. So
As are the courses tougher? Do you find that when you went from high school to college, you're playing further back, the courses are set up tougher? Is that an adjustment, a big adjustment as well?
I think no matter if you're playing college athletics or not, college is a tough transition, especially with COVID in high school. If you had COVID in high school and all your classes are online, and then you transitioned into college and all your classes are in person, that's a pretty significant change. I mean, it's tough. You have professors that have been teaching their class for 20 plus years, and they're strict on what they want, and you're trying to struggle just transitioning, living away from home. We have a girl, we actually have two freshmen, one's from Canada and one's from around the DC area, and they're pretty far away from home. They're just trying to like go through it, and they're doing an awesome job just being there as a teammate too, and making sure like your team is okay is also pretty important, because some classes are tough, and just being a freshman is even tougher.
And you kind of already answered my next question a little bit, but for girls coming up, or just in general, anybody coming up and playing college golf, what advice would you give them if you give them a piece of advice? If they came to you, if they reached out on Instagram and said, Addy, I'm a freshman at college X, do you have any advice for me? What would you tell them?
That's tough. I mean, everyone's different, but I think taking advantage of the resources you have at hand, taking advantage of your coach and being like, hey, coach, like, can you help me with XYZ? I'm lucky enough that the coach here at Fairfield, he is also like a swing coach. I'm like, hey, coach, do you have any like ideas for how I can practice more X shots? And you'd be like, yeah, sure, totally. Here you go. Here's a good routine to do. Or reaching out to your professors and just making sure you reach out for help, because people are willing to help people. You just have to ask. And I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, I'm too embarrassed to ask. I'm like, no, ask all the time. Like, I will help you. I just say to my freshmen, I'm like, hey, I will be there and help you. I'm always a door. Just text me whenever or call me. I'm here for you. And it's awesome because I think our team has really come together this year. But just for advice for future girls is just, you got this. Like, you are stronger than you know, and just keep pushing away, because it's amazing that girls in golf support each other. So it's awesome.
One thing that I find fascinating with college golf is the team aspect of it, right? And I think that's where the one spot maybe where live golf is interesting is the team aspect, because college is a team, high school is a team. When you're playing in a tournament, what I'm literally asking everybody this, so you could all have the same answer, you have different answers, which is great. What's the dynamic between focusing on your score? Obviously, you want to play well, but also paying attention to the team score and what the team needs. Is there a balance there, or is it just if I play my best, then I'm good? Which I guess it's obvious in some ways, but is there a balance there at all?
I think there is definitely a balance. I mean, you want to do well on the course, and it's just you want everyone else to do well on the course. But it's like if you're struggling on the court, it's hard to see that you have to like if you're struggling on the course and you see one of your teammates doing better, you should just personally, it's like you gotta just support them and just be like, you are doing awesome. Like keep going. And with golf as a team, I know it's similar with tennis because it's such an individual sport. It's you have to work hard as if you're working with someone else. In a sense, it's like with the example, like if you're playing lacrosse and you're like throwing back and forth, like the two of you are working together. So in a sense, it's like I know a couple of teammates and I will go out and practice together and we'll just like have competitions and just focus on that. And just kind of when we're out on the course during tournaments and you just see each other as someone, like the body language of one of your teammates is kind of down, you're like, hey, keep going, like you got this. And it's just like we kind of like made a team tradition. This is kind of like a girly like, tradition, but we had like secret Santa kind of, but we would write on a post-it note and put it in one of our teammates' bags and like a word of inspiration of like drop some putts, you got this, or like just little words of affirmation towards them. Because it's just when you're out there on the course alone with two other girls from different schools, it's kind of it can be tough if you're having a rough day. Like you might not just be not having it and there's no one out there. And so, sure, your coach will come up and be like, how's it going? But that's only once in a while. But it's making sure you're out there for one another is a big importance of it. So
Now, hopefully this will affect you, but the NCAA announced a few weeks ago that they're expanding the women's championship to, I believe, 27 teams, if I'm not mistaken, from 24. Now the men's is 30, but nonetheless, the women's championship is expanding. Uh, where have what is the state of women's college golf? Do you see it continuing to grow? Obviously, that was a big announcement from the NCAA, but from your perspective, what is the state of women's college golf and just women's golf in general?
I think women's golf is up on the uprise. I mean, from when I was a freshman in high school to now as a senior in college, just seeing the amount of girls golf in Rhode Island is so much larger than I thought it would be, which is amazing. So even for college golf, I do think it's going to be on the uprise because just seeing and like talking to my coach about recruiting or just talking about like friends about different like recruiting processes, it's tougher out there. I mean, from when I was a freshman to now, it's more competitive, which is awesome because that's just going to make the game grow.
Absolutely, it should be. And I think this past year, the Rhode Island Women's Amateur had, I think, their biggest championship field that they've had in a while. So hopefully they can continue to build on that. Of course, next year's Rhode Island Women's Amateur is at Kirkbride. I may know a few people there. So a couple quick hitters, then I'll get you out of here. I'm sure there are better things to do. Favorite club in the bag is what? You need a shot. What club are you pulling?
I mean, I'm a big fan of irons, so I'm gonna go with my 7-iron all day, every day. I mean, yeah.
Are you more of an iron person? Are you a hybrid person? Like for me, again, we're not on the same level. But I rather hit an iron. Like I don't hit hybrids. I don't have like a 3 hybrid. I hit a 4-iron, I hit a 5-iron. Are you more of an iron person or do you hit
I
the
like
hybrids too?
I do like my hybrids more than I mean, I'm sorry, I like my irons more than my hybrids. So I if it was between a 5 because I have a 5-iron and a hybrid in my bag, I rather choose my 5-iron. So I'm an irons person, yeah.
It's so interesting, like that dynamic of that. Some people prefer all hybrids. Like I have friends, older friends who the whole bag is like hybrids. I'm like, what are we doing here? And then
Yeah.
I'm like, then when I hit my irons, I'm just so comfortable hitting irons that I hit them. So I don't know. It's just weird. Whatever people prefer, I guess.
Yeah.
You're from Newport. Your favorite part about Newport is what?
About Newport, I mean, I'm a big foodie, so I mean, just being the restaurants down there is awesome. Obviously, I love playing at Newport CC. That's awesome. Newport National. Even I know it's not the Quidnet Club. I always wanted to call it a Cardigan Abbey, but it's the Quidnet Club. I mean, it's just great, and just being on the island, just so many options. But I'm big. I like the Newport life down there. I mean, it's fun with all the food and all the events. It's no, never sleeps almost. That there's always something going on. So
especially over the summer. Newport is most certainly the place to be.
Almost too busy.
Yeah. Your favorite course on Rhode Island, is it, you mentioned a few. What's your favorite course to play? You come home for the summer, you're hanging out with your friends, whatever. What course are you playing?
I honestly love Rhode Island Country Club. That's one of my favorites. I mean, it does bring back a lot of good memories when I won the women's AM down there, um, in 2017. And it's just a great venue. I mean, just I know that they've done a lot of changes, like taking down some trees. But it's just so cool because every single time I go back, they're like, "Oh, we took down the tree on X hole," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, wow!" Like you can actually see more of the golf course, which is awesome. So, yeah.
Are you planning to play in the Women's Am this upcoming summer?
I'm hoping to. Not sure yet, as my
Mm,
future plans are so
true.
much in the
No,
air. I have no idea.
valid point. Valid point.
But yeah, I hope to.
Awesome. Addy, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes, and good luck this spring semester. We'll obviously be watching. So looking forward to seeing how it all plays out, and good luck with everything
Awesome.
going forward.
Thank you so much.
That's Addy Douglas. This has been episode 3 of Golf News RI's College Golf Winter Break Series. We have a few more episodes coming, at least planned, and hopefully many more to come as we take you through the winter. There's snow on the ground, but we're still talking golf. Hope everyone has a great day.